YouTube, what's going on? Andrew Darling here, guys. I'm a couple weeks after graduation. 15 days, actually. No, more than that. 17 days. Graduated on the 12th. It's the 29th today. 29th of May, 2018. I am just about at 20% of my bar course. I am using Themis. Whew, boy, it's a struggle. We've been through contracts and sales, professional responsibility, torts, wills, trust and estates. I just started, what am I starting? Property. The professor for property is actually from Arizona State. He's a Professor Zachary Kramer. This guy's pretty funny. So he's making it at least, enjoyable as it can be. So the first thing I wanted to do is just tell you how bar prep's going for me so far. It's a struggle. It's a lot of work. But there is something that has helped me tremendously as compared to a lot of my classmates that I've spoken with. You have the option on the online interface to listen to videos at regular speed, 1.5 speed, or double speed. So 1, 1.5, and 2x. Y'all know I've been driving an insane amount throughout law school. So while I was driving, when I listen to podcasts, when I listen to audiobooks, when I listen to anything like that, I listen to them at 2.5 or 3x. So I'm listening to them at 2.5 to 3 times the normal speed somebody's talking. I had no idea how big of a help that was going to be. There are some days where you got to listen to 15 videos, and then you go through and, let me just show you here. So like this is for property. You'll go through a video, there's an entire section here, and then you fill in blanks as you go through the video, turn the page, same process. So you go through and you learn all the different aspects, you fill in a blank, and then you take a short test on it, and then you move on to the next video. So some days there's 15 videos, some days there's 10, there's 9 today, videos 1 through 9 for property, and then tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? I printed the schedule out, let's take a look at it. Tomorrow's 10 through 19, and then Thursday is 20 through 27 for property. So there's 3 different 9 video sections for property, and that's just real property. That's not even personal property and all that fun stuff. So it's a lot. But the one thing that I can tell you now is if you're just in law school, or even if you're in your 2L or 3L year, or going into your 2L or 3L year, start listening to podcasts. Start listening to podcasts faster than 1x. It's going to sound crazy at first. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But once you actually start doing it, you start listening to it, and it starts to make sense to you so that your brain isn't struggling so hard to process it, holy crap, it's going to save you. You're going to be able to finish everything in half the time. Literally half the time. So this next video is 16 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm going to get done with it in 8 minutes and 7.5 seconds. Because I'm able to watch the video at that speed, understand it at that speed, and get all the concepts that everybody else who's watching it at 1x is getting. The only reason I'm able to do that, I'm not more talented, I'm definitely not smarter or any of that. I've trained myself to listen to stuff at that speed. Some of you know I used to scan my pages of homework, my reading homework. I would use an app called Scanner Pro, and I should do a video on this. I'll probably do it at some point after bar prep. So there's an app here called Scanner Pro, and I would go into Scanner Pro, and I would, so like for example, this is kind of a bad example because they're really screenshots from a Kindle version, but you go in here and you get the chapter that you need, and you can go through and it's all of this here. Well, then you can open up something called Voice Dream, which is like a $20 app, but listen, it's absolutely worth it. You go through here, and so for example, agency, and I'm going to play it. I'm not sure how well the mic's going to pick it up, but I'm going to play it. So this is part of a chapter from BA, from Business Associations.
Likely to have a degree of psychological and social identity separate from the individual. This separateness is often expressed by giving the firm its own name, like Acme Shoe Company. Furthermore, a sole proprietor usually will consider only a certain portion of her property and cash as invested in the firm, and will keep a separate set of financial records for the firm, as if the firm's
So that sounds crazy, right? That sounds like just chicken scratch, just noise. But that's how I listen to stuff, because there was so much information I needed to take in, and I was spent so much time driving. when I was going to Charlotte as a 1L and then to Miami, mostly as a 3L. My 2L year I lived in Miami, so I didn't have to drive that much. But just understanding information at such an increased rate of speed and allowing your brain to process that information, that's something that you have to train. You're not going to go into bar prep and automatically know I can listen to everything at 2x and understand it. I didn't even know I was training myself. I didn't have that foresight. So I'm trying to give it to you. If you have the opportunity, start now. Start with podcasts. Start with audiobooks. Use Audible. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to find an Audible link that I have, and I'll put that in the description below. You get your first book free for 30 days, and it's like $15 a month, but you get a credit every month to buy an audiobook, and there's a bunch of them. So let me also recommend a couple semi-legal podcasts. Let's see if I can find them here. All right, because I haven't used my iPad to listen to my podcast for a while now. But all right, so let me recommend a couple to you. So there's Amicus with Dahlia Lithwick. She covers the Supreme Court and stuff like that for Slate. Criminal is a really good one. That's sort of, it goes over like reviewing different crimes that happen and sort of people who were, some of them were set free. You just go back and you listen to all of that. Radiolab has one that they haven't really put anything out for in a while called More Perfect. It talks about the Supreme Court. Let's see. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ones that are really good. Cold Case Files, the podcast is good. So Reasonable Doubt is a podcast with Mark Garagos. He's a pretty famous attorney. He's been the lawyer for Chris Brown and a bunch of other folks. And it also has Adam Carolla in it. There's another podcast called Suspect Convictions. I mean, there's plenty of stuff here to listen to. The two that are sort of the gold standard for podcasts in general, they're not related to the legal field at all, is Serial. There's 2 seasons of that. The first one is about the legal aspects of a gentleman, I believe his name was Adnan Syed. He was convicted of a murder of one of his classmates a long time ago in Baltimore. It's probably the most downloaded podcast ever, Serial. So listen to season 1. Season 2 is about Bo Bergdahl, the gentleman that was in the military. Left his post when he was in Afghanistan or in Iraq. I can't remember which one it was. I'm pretty sure it was Afghanistan. Ended up getting caught, and some folks passed away who were trying to find him in the military. Really, really good podcast. Very well done. One of the folks who, when I was in the Army and I was in drill sergeant school, Sergeant Bowman, who was actually the person who taught us how to teach soldiers how to shoot. So he was the one through BRM, or basic rifle marksmanship, taught us. He actually was killed looking for Bo Bergdahl. So it's a really good podcast, really worth the listen. There's a lot of really good ones. One of my favorite podcasts, Business Wars, is a really good one as well. But probably my favorite podcast is called The Jordan Harbinger Show. It's about, life help and improvement and personal growth and stuff like that, but it's not like that wishy-washy, positive thinking leads to everything. That's crap. It's just not that. So back to the actual topic, bar prep. What can help you, especially if you're already in law school and you're thinking about it, the bar's coming up, the next year or two. Start listening to podcasts or audiobooks at more than 1x. Start at 1.25. Get your way up to 1.5, because that's the next setting. After 1 is 1.5 and then 2. Those are the only 3 settings that you have on Themis. I'm not sure about Barbary, but definitely go for that. So as you guys can tell, I'm definitely taking a relax standard of personal hygiene right now. Mostly just grooming. I still shower pretty much every day. So other than that, I mean, look, it's a process. I'm going through it. I'm trying to get to my 80, 90, 100% of this bar course done before July 24th and 25th. Make sure I get it situated so I can go ahead and knock this Florida bar out of the park. I'm excited. I've seen some other folks tweet about this particular professor for property that I told you guys about. So it's been entertaining. I just want to get a quick bar update, bar study update. That's about it so far. I'm almost at 20% of the course. Working my way through it. I've done one essay, hasn't been graded yet. I'll do another one on Friday, I believe is my next essay. Yeah, graded essay for torts is on Friday, so I'll take care of that. And just keep plugging through the course. Man, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I know I kind of rambled for a little bit here, but listen, that's a #1 tip to help you on the bar, testing for the bar and the preparation for the bar. Watch stuff faster than 1x. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.